So my buddy Bryan here has, I think is a little bit confused about what he has going on in life and what his role is in this particular household. So we want to make that clear for him because I think he's a good dog. He just doesn't know how to make you guys happy. So I think he's doing what he thinks makes you happy. And in actuality, he's doing the opposite. Now I consider petting a dog our way of paying the dog. Now I asked you earlier, how often does he come and nudge you? Now he doesn't nudge you as much, but he definitely nudges you for attention. Like right here. So he's kind of saying, hey, pet me. Mm-hmm. Now, if I have a boss where I get to go tell the boss when to pay me, probably not going to be a very good employee if I get to tell him, and he's like, I just paid you 2 minutes ago.
Right.
Check. So I consider petting our dogs our way of paying them. So instead of petting him or paying him when he wants, I want to pet him for doing what you guys want. Mm-hmm. I call these desired behaviors. Now, if he comes up and scratches at you, nudges at you, barks at you, or jumps up on you, he's giving you an order. Now, he might be doing it in a cute way, but he's saying, pet me, pay attention to me. If we do it, then we're validating, yes, you're the boss of humans. You can tell humans what to do. So when I'm going to use a treat right now to motivate him. So if I want him to sit, I go over his head, sit. So when I go over his head like that, see how I can put him into an SIT just by rolling my hand in that direction. Now, as soon as his butt hits the ground, because again, we have to reward him within 3 seconds, I want to immediately scratch. Now, I like to scratch under the chin because I want him to feel good about these things. Now, if I give him a treat, I usually hold the treat about right here, sit. And then I immediately start scratching him under his chin. Now, if we deliver those at the same time, eventually the treat and the scratch under the chin become analogous. And then you won't have to give him a treat, you just do that. Now, instead of giving him a treat like this, I like to hold it like this because you can see, even though I don't have anything in my hand, I have good control of him.
Yeah.
So as soon as he sits, sit. So within 3 seconds of him sitting, then we want to provide that reinforcement. So instead of petting him when he scratches at you, we're going to give him a counter order. Sit, Bryan, sit, sit. So now, in order for him to get attention from us or affection from us, he has to earn it. And his currency is obedience. Now what's going to happen is, as we're already seeing how quickly he's adapting to that, but what we're going to find is that after a couple of days, he's just going to come and sit in front of me and say, look, I'm sitting. Shouldn't you be petting me? And the answer is, at least some of the time, yes. Because we want to continue, sit. So at that point, I didn't ask him to sit, but he still did what I wanted, a desired behavior, so I want to reward and pay them. So the more that you do, petting with a purpose is what I call this. This is probably the easiest thing that will have the biggest impact for you. Now, the nice thing is if you use the hand motion, you can have a whole conversation with him while you're having a conversation with your husband at the same time without interrupting either one. So now every time he comes and lays down, does he have a command for lie down?
Down. I mean,
no.
From a sit, they're down.
Okay, what if he's on the couch and we want to get down? What do we say? We make the distinction? Okay. So every time he comes and lays down at the floor, then we can just reach over within 3 seconds and start petting him and say, down, sit. Now, you can pet him. If you notice there, I petted him on top of the head. I prefer to pet here, but if his butt is here and his head is there, I don't have to reach around and do that. I can pet him wherever is appropriate. But what I'd like you guys to do is refrain from petting him for no reason. Now, you probably pet him too much. You probably don't pet him enough.
Nope.
So what we want to do is both of you guys gravitate towards the other, but we're doing it with structure. So instead of coming up and demanding attention, he's going to now come and politely ask for attention. Now, what I usually recommend is you come up with a family watchword. And I usually recommend paycheck. So if one of you comes in the room, you see the other one petting the dog, because there are a lot of times you won't even think about it. You're like watching TV, and the dog comes over, you're just petting the dog without thinking about it. So if you come in and you see the other person doing that and the dog's not sitting, paycheck, and you just immediately pull up your hands, stop petting, sit, sit. Even if you had asked him to sit before the other person came in the room, because to ask him to sit is not asking a lot, and it gives you another opportunity to practice this. So petting with a purpose, like I said earlier, is the easiest thing that will give you the biggest return on your investment, and if you get in a habit of doing it, you'll reinforce the leader-follower dynamic that you're looking for the rest of his life without spending really any time doing it. Bryan, sit. Sit. Good job. That's petting with a purpose.